I'm going to be doing a full kitchen remodel in our house. I've done 4 full kitchen remodels in about the last 12 years, 2 at a friend's house and 2 at my own. All I've done so far is empty all the cabinets. So I'm going to take you around the room, show you why we're doing the remodel, show you a couple things that you should never do as far as flooring goes. Then I'm going to go step by step. I'm doing this all myself. I've learned a few tricks along the way, which I'm going to share with you to make your job a little easier. So keep watching, and we're going to do this full kitchen remodel so that you can do it yourself and follow with my tips. Here's the upper cabinets. If you notice this soffit, that is going to come out. This house was built in 1978, so a lot of houses built back then have those soffits. These are old mahogany cabinets. Kind of dated looking. You can see what that looks like right there. Now I am going to be taking out all the drywall, adding some electrical outlets, putting in recessed lighting. The floor is coming out, drywall is coming out. You should be able to see studs and insulation later on in the video when I get to it. So if you can see this ceramic tile floor, previous owner did this maybe, I'm guessing about 20 years ago, maybe 23. And, oh, I just stepped. Another reason the floor is coming out, we got squeaky spots, we got cracks in the grout. You can see right there, a lot of the grout is all cracked up. If you come over here, there's a big chunk missing out of the ceramic tile. Right about there, and we just kind of had a plant in that corner covering that up. And then also the trim is, you know, matching the cabinet, still dated, kind of that older looking trim. That window there actually leaks, so we'll be replacing that window. And also the ceiling has no recessed lighting, so we'll be adding some of that as well. And as you come over here, I'll also be doing the steps going down to the basement. Has that dark mahogany paneling right there, all that's going to come out. That's going to be a big job because that paneling is behind the stairs, so I will have to probably remove the stairs. And I believe that door is probably going to stay. There's really nothing wrong with that. What this is going to be major remodel, and like I said earlier, I found a couple tips along the way as I did some other people's houses. And if you're going to do your own kitchen remodel and you've never done one before, hopefully this video is going to help you. And it does have a built-in pantry right there, which we'll be putting in a double pantry cabinet. You can see whoever painted this last where the refrigerator goes didn't really bother to paint the rest. We'll also be changing the outlet covers, a little more updated versions. So basically I'm going to be taking all the cabinets out. If you have a buddy helping you, it doesn't really matter if you take the uppers or lowers out first. If you're doing it by yourself, you're probably going to want to take the lowers out first so you can get underneath the uppers a little easier to remove them, because they are going to be kind of heavy. But if you just look in your cabinets, you'll see there's a screw right there, and there's usually 1 or 2 going into one of the side cabinets. I don't see one there yet, and there should be 1 or 2 right under there, which is one right there. So basically when when houses are built back then, or even some of the newer ones, they always make shortcuts. Some cabinets might have 4 screws in them. Some cabinets might only have 2. Let's check out this little one here. Well, there's none on that side. And looks like we got 1 right there. 1 right there. And there should be 1 or 2 under here. There we go. Said mismatched screws. That's the way they build stuff. And oh, we might have these two screws here probably going into this side cabinet. Usually a lot of these screws are kind of hidden, so you really gotta look before you take your cabinets out. And if you're gonna save your trim, I'm not, but you're gonna wanna pop that off first. So we'll be taking the cabinets out next. Keep watching for some tips and tricks, and we'll go from there. So when you get ready to take your countertops off, just go inside your cabinets, and as you can see right there, someone fastened these in with angle brackets or L brackets, whatever you want to call them. So this had to have been put in sometime after the house was built, because they would normally probably just glue it and run screws up at angles. So a quick little tip, you can see my screwdriver here. I have a very long extension with a Phillips head on it. That's going to make it quite a bit easier to get in there, especially in the back, and get those long screws out. You can see something like that makes it quite a bit easier. Up here in the front as well too, just like that. Because if you have a short one, your screwdriver is going to be hitting this bar, or you're going to kind of have to get in there at a weird angle to get those out. So a screwdriver extension, drill extension, whatever you want to call it, to help get your countertops off is going to help you out quite a bit. All right, I'm going to get all these countertops removed, and we'll go on to the next step. All right, it took me about 2 hours to get all these cabinets out by myself. Take a look and see what it looks like. This side over here, this is very typical when you take your cabinets down, that you're gonna see a bunch of holes where whoever built the house or whoever installed the cabinets missed, couldn't find a stud, so they just keep on drilling new holes or putting screws in until they hit a stud. So that's very common. I've seen that in every place that I've redone so far. Another spot up there. And come over here. Much more open without them cabinets hanging down there. On this side over here, same thing. You got some bad drywall right there. And they figure, well, cabinets are going to cover it up, who cares? Like I said, this whole side over here, all kinds of holes where they couldn't find a stud. And that yellowing, that's typical of the side that has your oven and stove on it. And that cabinet there, boy, they really missed a lot of those. One of the cabinets over here, it was the one that was right here. As you can see, there's no screw holes. There was actually only one screw holding this cabinet up, and it was attached to the cabinet over here. So that's the kind of workmanship that people do when they build houses. I mean, even back in late 70s when they built them good, you're always going to find shoddy workmanship like this. When you come down here, you can see whoever put the tile in before we bought the house, obviously, only moved the appliances. They didn't even take the trim off the wall. You can see there, trim was not taken off. They just tiled right up to it. And what it looks like, you can see right there. I'm not sure what this layer here is. This almost looks like there's linoleum under there. Once I start tearing into it, we'll be able to see what the ceramic tile was actually laid on. It obviously wasn't done right, that's why I'm redoing it. And there's usually always some water marks. The refrigerator was over here, so maybe the ice maker leaked a little bit at one time, or somebody always spilled something. But everything I see is typical of when you're done to remodel a kitchen. And if you take a look at right here, where you either have like your overhead microwave or your vent. Huge hole where they tried to find the electrical wire. Like I said, that's all typical. Nothing I haven't seen before. So if you're following along in the video, this is what your kitchen should look like after you've got your cabinets out. And we'll probably start to I'm not sure yet, we're either going to do the floor next, or I'm going to be taking the soffit out. I'm not sure. I might leave the floor because all the debris that falls on the floor will sweep up very easily with this ceramic tile. And if I take that out, it makes it a little bit harder to sweep up on the wood. Oh, another thing over here, when you take out your sink cabinet, there's going to be all kinds of pipes under it, water pipes, your drain, and a lot of times they'll put the cabinet in place and then drill holes. Well, you can't take that cabinet out until you cut off a lot of your piping. So run out and get yourself some end caps, because you're going to have to cut that off, and then you're probably going to have to cut something off flush, either here or down there, because the cabinet can, you either have to lift it up a little bit and then out, or out and then up. But the kitchen sink cabinet is usually the trickiest one. And over here, this must have been added later on. There's a heat vent right here. That's not normal with building the house. That's a remodel of some type. We'll figure out what that is a little bit later. Alrighty guys, keep on watching. We'll get back to you on the next part of this remodel. So we decided to remove the drywall first because we have a ceramic tile floor, but that's going to be coming out. We figured the debris would be much easier to clean up if we leave the ceramic tile floor in until later. So if you want to take a look at what the walls look like after we've removed the drywall. That was just my wife and I taking the drywall down today. As you can see, the soffits are removed. Those were not easy to come down. Took quite a while to get those down. And this was the old built-in pantry, and we're going to have a large pantry cabinet that's going to go there. And when you're removing drywall, I kind of had to stop there because I'm going to have to make a cut right down here so it doesn't damage any of my corner. And you can just cut this with like a utility knife, and you're going to want to stay back maybe about 1.5 inches, and then I can remove the rest of this. If I pull the rest of this off, it's going to peel part of my corner. I don't want it to damage anything on this side of the wall. But this is typical of what you're going to see if you're going to go, full-on remodel with removing the drywall and stuff like that. There's some reason they put an old piece of wood up there. I'm not sure why that is. And if you come over and look at this side, this is the outer wall. No, this was all in regular standard pink insulation in there. We pulled all that out because I'm thinking we may spray foam the entire kitchen. I'm not sure, but some of the insulation had a little bit of mold on it. So it took all that out. And this is typical of what you're going to see on a house that was built in late 70s, early 80s, as far as this backer board. You can see up there where the soffit was, because the edge of that soffit was right there. You could kind of see where my utility knife slipped right there. I just cut right down there because I don't want to damage any part of this ceiling. Made a couple cuts all the way down there, and then I also cut right there all the way to the floor. And that's how you can get your drywall off without damaging, a good side of your wall. You got to find some spot to split it, and you usually want to split it in the center of another 2x4. As you can see right there, that's the sink light that was centered over the sink. I'm not sure if I won't reuse that, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna put up there next because there won't be a soffit there anymore. Well, this is how far we got today. We worked on it about maybe 3 hours, and probably head down and do this part of the drywall tomorrow, and probably the floor the next day. Alrighty guys, well, next time I come back I'll show you what we progressed on next. Guys, I am 13 hours into my do-it-yourself kitchen remodel. I'm going to take you around the room, show you what I've gotten done so far, talk a little bit about the project. If you want to look down here, I just finished removing the drywall off that wall there. I'm going to add some outlets. I think I may add some side lights, I'm not sure. But here's a couple oddities I found. That almost looks like a window frame. Maybe it was cut out at one time, so you could see through into the, that's a stairwell right there. Not quite sure. Either that or maybe they just ran out of 2x4s and all they had were small scraps and they framed that out. Not sure. A little strange, but... And if you look over here, you can show the quality of measuring drywall. These guys were obviously about 1.5 inches off on the measurements on the drywall, so you could see all the mud they jammed into the crack to fill it all in. And if you stand back, come around over to this side, there's the bay window. All the drywall's been removed there. As you can see, still see some insulation up there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the spray foam insulation or not. I left that there for now. And one nice thing, when you're going to gut something down to the studs, you can look for any water leaks, things out of the ordinary that you can fix. And it looks like there might be a slight leak in the window corner there. I'm not sure. I'm going to take a look into that and have that fixed. And as you can see, all of my ceramic tile is removed. There was about 240 square feet of ceramic tile. I did do a video on how I removed it. It took me about 7 hours just to remove the ceramic tile. I knew it was going to be a hard job. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to take me probably 2 days plus. And then right here is the wall where the kitchen sink was right underneath that window. That's all gutted out, insulation's out. I'm going to move some outlets. I'm going to add some lighting. I may move the water lines, I'm not sure. But this is how far I've gotten. I just want to kind of give you guys a little update. Hey, what's up guys? I've got about 20 hours into this full kitchen remodel. I'm going to take you around the room, show you what I've been doing. As you can see, the ceramic tile is all gone. All the new underlayment is in. I used 3/4 inch tongue and groove, and I glued and screwed it down to the original subfloor. I never use nails for hardly anything. I always screw everything and I always glue it. This is the type of glue I used. It's kind of a poly glue. I've used liquid nails before, and after a year or two, maybe I changed my mind, I did something else. I've peeled wood off that I used liquid nails for, and it barely holds. So I've been using that poly glue, and that stuff is super strong. Something we decided to do, we're going to put a half wall over here. If you remember from the beginning photos, that's the stairwell, and that was a full wall, but we're going to do a half wall. Thought about doing railing, but I think we're going to put a half wall coming across here about 48 inches dropping down, and I think I'm going to put a cabinet and countertop there. And over here, wasn't really planning on doing the stairway, just kind of migrated that way. As you can see there, it has that old paneling from the late 70s. And what I found is, I thought, well, I was just going to be able to take that out easily, but they put the paneling in first, and then they built the stairs, so I can't get the paneling out unless I take the stairs out. So that's going to be a job in itself. I'm probably looking at about 8 hours taking all that stairs out and removing the paneling. And then I'll put the drywall back in, and then put the stairs back in. So that's a lot of extra work, but it's going to look a lot better, and it's going to get rid of that 70s look. It's also going to brighten up the stairway. So that's where we're at right now. Floor's pretty well done. I need to do the electrical here yet. We're going to move some outlets around, add some outlets, and then I've got to do the ceiling. I did pull the ceiling away where the stairwell is, just because I was already there and I don't want to clean it up twice. I still haven't decided on whether I'm going to do spray foam or what kind of insulation I'm going to do yet. I know we're talking about new windows. This one over here, the seal is broke, so it needs to be replaced anyway. It gets a lot of moisture buildup. You can see part of it's rotten and a little bit of mildew in there. We're thinking about the windows that you can see out of, but no one can see in. They have that special tint on them. Or a friend of mine does car and truck window tinting, and he said he could tint the windows for about 150 bucks, where no one can see in but we can see out, and it would reduce the heat penetration. So I know I need to replace the one window for sure, and then we're talking about either tinting the windows or buying the ones. I think they have like a bronze coating on them. They use them in office buildings. Not sure yet. That's still kind of up in the air. But I'm at about 19 hours so far of labor, and this is what it looks like so far. Alright guys, so I got an update for you. I have all of the ceiling drywall taken down. You can see there. And while we were getting over here to the end by the stairs, it was the idea that we would remove half of that wall going down to the stairs, which I've done, and then built that lower frame. Also took out the entire stairs, and the stairs are all new, and I've got the drywall up there. I got rid of that old mahogany style paneling. Now I redid the stairs because they're only about 7.5 inches wide, and I've got a size 13 shoe, so I had to make the stairs a little bit longer, and now I have about a 10-inch tread on there. So the stairs are all done. Drywall's starting to come up. Like I said before, that was a full wall, which is now going to be a half wall. And I think we're going to put like maybe some cabinets on the bottom, and maybe put the coffee machine on top of there. I'm not sure. But that's what it's looking like so far. And hours wise, I have about 32 hours into the kitchen remodel. There is a local place where you can take all your construction materials, so drywall, insulation, wood, stuff like that, and they weigh how much you're taking in, and you got to pay to get rid of it. And I've dumped 4,612 pounds of material. That's, you know, all the flooring, ceramic tile, all the drywall, any of the extra wood, stuff like that so far. So far, total cost, haven't spent a whole lot. It's been about maybe $800, and that includes all the new stairs, the drywall, insulation that I put behind there, and dumping all the debris. So one thing that I came across is, you can see this opening right here. Okay, the front door is right there. You kind of see the light coming through. Well, a previous owner, cut this wall back some. So from what I can tell, this wall here, you can see right there, it actually came out to right there. and it was cut back and opened up. And we kind of suspected that because the drywall, you can't really see it right there, but it always was cracked. And I tried to fix it and it would be okay for a couple months and then it'd crack again. Well, when you remove that much, that's supporting wall, by the way. You can remove some supporting wall, you can't remove a lot. Well, they removed maybe 30 inches of it. So then those rafters right there need to sit on something. As you can see, I have a T-brace in there holding those up because there's no wall underneath them. There's my T-brace. I've got it screwed to the floor. And I got 2x6 up there holding those up. Well, what they did was they put a brace on top of those, which is fine as long as the brace is strong enough. But I've got the brace pulled down and I got it out in the garage and I got a new brace built. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so here is that brace that I removed out of the ceiling from the previous owner. Like I said, they cut the wall back about 30 inches, which it's a big deal, but no big deal if you do it right. They opened it up. I got a lot more light into the kitchen, into the dining room, stuff like that. But look, and then you basically put a brace on top of your rafters. But look at what they did. You got a 2x4 right here that was tying the two rafters together where they kind of meet in the center. And you've got maybe this is like an old 2x10, and now you have another one here because you have a splice. Then you've got another, looks like a 2x6, and then you've got a 2x4 down there, and then you've got those tied together with this. So all in all, there is, let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces. So, and it's spliced right here. And it was held by, it looks like it maybe like number 8 screws, about 2 inches long. So that's why the ceiling was always cracked there. Even though I repaired the drywall twice, it's still cracked. That ceiling was barely supported at all. It looks like, they were like, well, let's go out to the shed and see what we got out there for some wood, and let's cobble jobble a brace together. So when you remodel a home that you didn't buy brand new, and you're going to run into stuff like this. So that's kind of what this video is about. So with that brace out, we have to put a new brace in, right? Okay, so here's what I bought. These are 2x6s, 3 pieces, and it's 12 feet long. It's actually about 2 feet longer on both sides than what it needs to be. As you can see right here, you can see some of the glue oozing out right there. Now it is all glued together. It's screwed together about every 6 inches. You can see them all along there. And then I will also glue it and screw it down to those ceiling joists. And then it should be nice and strong. My drywall should stop cracking. So there's new brace, there's old bad brace. So like I said, when you're remodeling, you're going to run into stuff like this. Just be prepared, and it's really only going to cost you a couple extra trips to like the lumber store. And then you just do things right. You never have to do them again, and hopefully everything works out. Alright guys, I'm going to get back to it, and when I get some more stuff done, I'll give you an update. Alright guys, another little update. I've got all the wiring ran in the ceiling for the recessed lights. As you can see, I've got one right there. What I did is I took a paper plate and just cut out the center of it. And then I tacked it to the ceiling and all the places where we thought we'd want a light. And then we kind of came into the room at different locations, through the hallway, through the garage, looking at the lights, seeing if they were kind of in the locations we wanted. And then we kind of moved them around a little bit. And now I have them right where we want them. So I ran all the wiring in the ceiling for those recess lights. And I did you remember there's the half wall, I ran the wiring for the outlets right there. And I've got most of the stairs covered in drywall. Got the wiring done for that. You can see down in there. And hour-wise, I'm at about 41 hours of work so far. And this kind of 3-bay window area right here, I worked on that a lot today. Mainly what I did is I pulled out all the old insulation. There wasn't much in there at all, so I pulled all that out. And then I used grate foam in kind of areas like this. And then I went around all the windows with grate foam. That just seals up better than tucking insulation in there. And then you just shoot that in there. You make sure you use the window and door foam. It doesn't expand so hard that it bows your window. And then any of it that just kind of rolls out, well, like this right here needs to be tucked back in. You can just push it in with your finger or use a tool, kind of shove it back in there. And then I tucked in insulation in all these kind of crevices here. Got all the insulation down along there. And like I said, grate foam here, and then I tucked in insulation in these kind of bigger gaps. And then I'm using 6 mil thick plastic. You can see right here it's clear. Home Depot has it, Menards has it as well. Comes in, let's see, 20 feet wide, 25 feet wide by 100 feet long. And it's about $50 for a roll. I'm not sure if it's going to do the whole room, but that's what I bought for covering these outside walls. So I did leave a little piece of the plastic from when the house was built originally, which is this right here. It is a little bit thicker than saran wrap. It's probably about 1.5 mils. And then you can see there, that's the 6 mil stuff that I'm putting up instead. Now, if you see this dark stuff here, that's not mold, that's just dirt. And the reason that's there is I had my furnace intake inside the house. When they installed the furnace, they left the intake inside. They didn't run a pipe outside. So my furnace was sucking air from the inside of the house for the combustion chamber. Well, what that does is, in the wintertime, say you don't go anywhere for 2 days and your house is all sealed up, that furnace is going to suck air from somewhere. So it's going to suck it in probably up through the soffits, and it's going to come out like down here through the outlets. So I ran a pipe, PVC pipe outside, and attached that to my furnace inlet, so that won't happen anymore. Like I said, that's just dirt, it's not mold. And I kind of left this up to show you guys the difference in the plastic. So like I said, you know, when you're redoing something, you might as well redo it right. So the 6 mil plastic is about double the cost of probably what this stuff is, but it's going to seal up way better. And we did move the cabinets around a little bit. We kind of got them setting in place, kind of where they're supposed to go. And we've kind of been walking in and out of the house here over the last week, figuring out if that's exactly where we want them or not. And they're exactly where we want them now. So we moved a couple cabinets around, we moved the refrigerator down. And these cabinets here are actually going to be staggered. I just got them sitting there for now. And then, let's see, we added a cabinet down here on the end. And that's what they should look like once they're mounted. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'll do another update video when I get some more stuff done. Probably the next thing I'll be doing, probably insulating the ceiling. Because in the mornings when we wake up, the house is a little bit cold. just because the cold air coming in through here. But that's pretty much next. Insulating the ceiling. I'll probably drywall this 3-bay area tomorrow, and I'll give you guys an update after that. Alright guys, here I am. I got the first coat of compound on all the drywall. It's a little noisy in here because I got a couple fans running. As you can see, all the joints are taped, all the screw holes are filled, and this is just the first coat. It's almost dry. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to probably do the sanding for the second coat. There's a couple spots where I see are still a little bit dark and not quite dry all the way. But as of right now, I'm about 56 hours into this kitchen remodel project. Taking me a little longer than I thought. But just wanted to share with you guys what it looks like with all the tape and compound in place. And then hoping to spray perlite probably in about 3 days. Step back here so you guys can see the bay window area. Alright, once I get this all sanded down, another coat on, and I'll probably spray the perlite and then show you guys what it looks like after that. Guys, we're here at the next stage. The drywall is all taped, mudded, and I sprayed a perlite texture on it, which is kind of like a fine sand looking texture. You can see right there. It matches pretty much the rest of the house. As you can see on the ceiling's all blended in, and the wall over there where I had that big split between the two, that's all feathered in. And we'll come around over here. All those outlets are going to be replaced. I just used all the old outlets. I taped them off so that there's no way for you to get shocked, but I can still use them for lights and for other power. And there's the ceiling. And there's that wall where we added on about 16 inches. That's all feathered and blended in. And we'll check out this stairway. Looks much brighter, a lot more open looking than that old brown paneling was. And what's on the floor is rosin paper, and it pretty much is just protecting a floor. I'm going to do, I think, ceramic tile, and I don't want all that drywall compound and stuff on there that I have to scrape off. So once the perlite was all sprayed, the rosin paper was pretty much completely covered, so I ripped all of that out and I just put down fresh rosin paper, because the next step is I'm going to do it's a drywall primer sealer, which I can show you over here. This is what it looks like. If you don't want to use primer sealer, you don't have to, but the new drywall is going to soak up your paint a lot more. That's what it looks like. And basically, when you have fresh drywall that's never been painted, like I said, it's going to soak up your paint a lot. So you might have to do 2-3 coats, depending on what kind of paint you buy. Well, some paint is, $30 to $40 a gallon, where that drywall primer sealer is only about $11 a gallon. So you basically just put one coat of that on, and it really seals the drywall, and it allows the new paint to adhere a little better, and you're going to use a lot less paint that way. So you do save a little money, but it does cost you a couple hours of, pretty much another coat of paint. or drywall sealer, I should say. Other than that, I'm gonna get everything primed, and then I'm going to paint the ceiling, and then I'm gonna install all the ceiling lights. I'll turn all those lights on, and then I can paint the walls. And then I don't have to use this light stand anymore. So to finish off the drywall was about almost 40 hours of work. So I'm probably close to about 100 hours of labor so far on our kitchen remodel. And I'm not sure how many hours are left, but there's quite a few yet. So once I get the ceiling painted and the lights installed, I'll probably do another video to show you guys what that looks like. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Hey, what's up guys? We're back again. And what I've got done now is all the drywall is done. It's been perlighted. I used 6 gallons of drywall primer sealer. And then I painted these 2 walls kind of a, well, it's kind of a real light tan kind of color. And these walls over here are still white with primer, so you can kind of tell the color difference. But anyway, got these 2 walls here done. Recessed lights are all in. Ceiling's painted. Started to hang some of the cabinets over here on this side. And I've got the new electrical outlets all wired in with the copper covers. So that's what that side there looks like. And this side over here, like I said earlier, was painted. I just need to do the electrical outlets and covers next. And then I also have a couple down there that I need to put in. And then that half wall there and the basement stairwell, we're not quite sure what color to do there. We're thinking of a darker color. Kind of going to be like an accent wall, I guess you could say. So that's been kind of the holdup, is this deciding the color on this kind of basement wall area. We know that we don't want it the same as, here's a good color contrast, as the other 2 walls. We probably are going to go darker because I think we're going to hang some artwork and picture work in there. So that's where I'm at so far. Need to finish doing the outlets on that wall. I need to figure out the color for the basement wall, get that done. And then I'm going to start hanging some cabinets over here on this side, which will be coming up next here within the next day or 2. And then I'm going to need to lay Durarock cement board on the floor. That's going to be mortared in and screwed down. And then I'll be doing the ceramic tile. Hey, what's up guys? I'm back again. I've put down the cement board on the floor. It's all thin set and screwed down to the floor. Just finished taping and mudding all the seams. Once again, this is right around 300 square feet. It took me about 7.5 hours. So I'll take a look, I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to show you the tile we have picked out. So as you can see there, I laid it all out in kind of a brick pattern, so no seam is close to another. And then all of the joints are, it's basically like a mesh drywall tape, and then mudded over top. Now this is going to have to dry for about a day, and then I'll probably start putting the tile on later this week. There's one of the tiles, just to show you color-wise. But what the tile is, it's called Versailles. I guess that's kind of the trade name for it. And there's actually 3 different sizes. You can see them right here. You have this size here, you have this kind of long narrow one, and then you have the big like 20 by 20. Hey, back again guys, just to give you a little update on the kitchen remodel. If you take a look around, I'm starting to put some cabinets in. I have the tile completely done. This tile is called Versailles. It's kind of there is a pattern, but it's kind of random, and it does offset. So really no matter where you look, it looks a little different, but it is somewhat patterned. And I got all that done. Let's see, just last night did the grout. Grout's all dried and cured. And we started moving some stuff back in. Once you don't have a kitchen for about 2 months, you're very thankful that you can start moving some stuff back in. So we put the table back so we can get a little bit of normalcy. And I believe in the last video this wall was not painted, so I did get that painted. And if we come over here, you can look and see I've got some base cabinets just kind of sitting in place. And we got all these cabinets for free. Helped a friend of mine remodel his kitchen, and I took all the cabinets and kind of made them work here. I'm going to have to put some spacers in here and there because they don't fit perfectly, but they're going to be pretty close. So the only real cabinets that are exactly in place are the uppers on this side over here. As you can see, they've got a coat of orange oil on them. These are oak cabinets. They weren't faded or anything. They're just maybe 15 years old, and I gave them all a good coating of orange oil, and that's just going to put a little bit of shine and a little bit of life back into them. They'll probably dull up in about 24 hours, but they're all mounted, screwed together, so I gave them a little coat. And like I said, the base cabinets, I've got them set in place pretty close to where they're going to go. I need to get a lot of my tools and stuff dug out of there. And then I'm going to place the base cabinets. This side over here, the dishwasher is going to go right there. And then I have an upper cabinet that I'm probably going to hang here in about 5 minutes. It's going to go there. The pantry, actually that would is screwed to the wall. That's exactly where it's going to go. And getting a little bit of normalcy back by getting our food back here into the kitchen instead of on tables and in boxes. So that's a good feeling, kind of here in the home stretch. So I'll step back here, you guys can get a full view. And hours wise, I've got to be at close to about 130 labor hours into this, and it's a good thing we got the cabinets for free because I'm probably at about, I figured it up the other day, I'm right around $6,900 as far as cost. And I'll get back with you guys when I get some more stuff done. I'll probably get most of the cabinets all mounted, and then I think we're just going to go with some laminate countertops for now, and maybe upgrade to granite or something in a couple years. But I'll get some more stuff done, get back with you guys and let you know how it's going. Alright, so I'm back again. I've got a couple of things accomplished in the kitchen. Just take a look around and I'll show you what I've got. As you can see, all the cabinets are mounted either to the wall ceiling or to the floor. They're all done. They're all secured to the wall. All leveled off where they need to be. All the painting is done. This wall over here is a little bit darker than the rest of the kitchen. I've got all of the toggle switches and all of the receptacles all done. And if you come over here and look, I'll show you what looking down this stairway looks like. Got carpet coming at the end of the week, so that will get all carpeted. And I happened to find a sink on Facebook Marketplace the other day. We kind of shopped around for sinks, and generally the sinks are running between $300 and $400. and someone had this on Facebook Marketplace. They bought it. It was still in the box. They never used it. They decided to go with a different color for 75 bucks. So it's called Chocolate Metallic. I don't know if you can see the metallic flake in it, but it's like a granite composite sink. So like I said, save some money there. 75 bucks for that instead of, I looked on Home Depot online, it was $3.92 on there. So save quite a bit of money. We ordered countertops not last night, night before. And they said they'd probably take about 2 weeks for the countertops to come in. And we just basically ordered kind of a standard, it's called a high definition laminate. We looked into granite. Granite was around $3,500. And it's not because of the money, it's more because of, say in 7 to 10 years we want to change colors in the kitchen. I definitely don't want to get rid of a $3,500 countertop to change colors, but I have no problem getting rid of, you know, a $350 laminate countertop if we wanted to change colors or style or whatever. So that's basically why we went with the laminate. So we'll be here in 2 weeks, and I can show you guys what that looks like. We do have our appliances are about 4 or 5 years old, so there's really nothing wrong with them. They both work perfect, but they don't look very good as far as aesthetically with the copper range hood and the light oak cabinets. I'm thinking the new black stainless appliances are going to look really good. I'm not sure. They have a new Tuscan stainless steel that's coming out. So we may be looking at new appliances here shortly. Now I did space out the cabinets for a 36-inch refrigerator, and ours is a 33, so I have quite a bit of a gap all the way around the refrigerator. So once we get a new refrigerator in, it will be the 36-inch wide. It will take up that gap that you see around there. And like I said, we're leaning towards maybe the black stainless. I'm not sure. But I'll do a video on whatever we figure out. So that's where I'm at with it. Once I get some more stuff done, like I said, once I get the countertops and sink put in and maybe the carpet and the stairs done, I'll do another video and show you guys where we're at from there. As of now, we're probably going to get appliances, but as far as cost, time, I'm at about $6,900 in total cost. I'm at, I believe, about 210 hours of my labor. I started this in March, and today's July 2nd. So I haven't taken any days off of work. This has only been after work and weekends working on this. So that's where I'm at. Just step back here so you can see the whole view. All right, I'll get some more stuff done here. Because of the COVID-19 thing, everything is taking longer to get and things are taking longer to do. So it's going to be about 2 weeks before I do an update video on the other stuff getting done. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, so we're back at the final stages of doing this full kitchen remodel. I'm going to show you here the crown molding. That is not a lot of fun to put up. It's cutting 2 angles at once, but once you do a couple pieces, it's not too bad. As you can see, we're already pretty much living in the kitchen, just doing some finish up touches. All I gotta do is finish up the crown mold and the baseboard. Now I do have a couple window companies quoting me on some windows. We had no plans of redoing the windows because they're already replacements, but they were done about 25 years ago. And this is the west side of the house, so we're thinking some of the new high efficiency windows. And with the COVID-19 going on, they said it's about 8 weeks to get those in. So then all I gotta do is trim around the windows and it's completely done. We'll take a look over here down the basement area. And coming over here on this side of the kitchen. You can see I got to do the crown molding on that. I'll probably finish that up tomorrow. And we did wind up getting a stainless steel refrigerator. The white one just didn't really look right. We do have a stainless steel stove on order, but once again we were told 6 weeks for that to come in. Yeah, I'll show you this side over here. And that's pretty much it. Just finished up on my trim, and this is pretty much done. So all in all, it was about twice as much money as we thought. Took about 3 times as long as we thought, but we did it all ourselves. Probably saved in total, if we would have had somebody do this kitchen for us, it probably would have been about $35,000. Total we have spent, and that's including the appliances. I can show you the stainless steel dishwasher right there too, is about $12,000 to $13,000. And like I said earlier, all the cabinets were free. I helped remove these from a house and helped remodel the kitchen, and in payment got all the cabinets. So cabinets were pretty much free. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you followed along, and this gives you a little bit of confidence to maybe do your own kitchen remodel. If you've never done remodeling before, I would definitely not tackle a kitchen. Start in a bedroom, do something smaller, something a little easier before you tackle a kitchen. But it can be done. There's lots of resources online you can look up if you have questions. Hopefully this video helps you out, and I thank you for watching.